Okay, we'll go ahead and call the work session to order. Appreciate everyone being here today, 6 o'clock. Everyone had time to look at the agenda. Any changes, comments on it?
Nope.
Hey, we don't have anything right now on the, we were talking about a couple things that we need to change on the agenda, Dade. There's one thing you were talking about back
It's
there.
only, it's
Okay.
on here.
Okay, so
It's
what,
numbers. Yeah, it's number 15.
yeah, adjustment of scale house rate, okay, that's fine. It's
14.
It's on.
14.
14, yeah.
14 and 15.
All right. Move down to number 2, approval of our previous minutes, of the meeting. Any comments, any changes on that?
No.
Okay, put that on consent agenda. Personnel status, go over that. We've not had that many changes, maybe one in the jail, 2.
Well, we've hired on at the transfer station.
That's right, that's what you meant. Yep,
Mhm.
that's right. Yeah. You wouldn't change down there a whole lot, do we?
Yeah, not that often.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Board appointments. Number 4, board appointments and proclamations. 4A, this is resolution R-29-22. Appointment of the members of the Northwest Georgia Regional Commission Board to fulfill the unexpired term of Peter Savelli. That's someone we're looking for. It needs to be someone that will be able to travel to Rome on the 3rd Thursday of every month. Meeting starts around 10 o'clock, and usually you don't leave down there till around 1:30 or 2. And it needs to be a non-political person, no one in public office. So it's really an interesting meeting. It's a meeting I never miss. It's pretty demanding on time. So if you know anyone out there that would like to serve, get in contact with me or Don, and we'll explain to you exactly what it consists of. Peter did real well because he was retired. He had plenty of time, and I don't think Peter missed a meeting. He might have missed one in the years he was on there. So just keep that in mind out there. 4B, this is resolution R-30-22. This is appointment of a new board member to the Northwest Georgia Joint Development Authority. This will be taking Fred Stevens' place. Fred is resigning from that board. He's been a really good board member and real dedicated. And it's time for him to let some new blood actually in. And we've got Shannon down at the bank there. He has actually volunteered to serve on that board. Shannon Henry. Anyone have a problem with that? Got anybody else you want to bring up?
I don't. I'm fine with Mr. Henry.
All right. Put that on consent agenda. I think y'all got a meeting tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yes.
And that's really, sometimes, we've had some members that have not been attending, and it's bad for everybody to travel, because their meetings are across the mountain always, and get over there and not have a quorum, and it's happened a few times, right, Evan? I mean, y'all got, to that point sometimes, and it's really, you gotta have board members that'll attend the meeting. Okay, let's move down to 4C. This is proclamation. This is respect for Law Week, Trenton Dade Optimist Club, May the 3rd. We did have a really great day down there the other day, and on the 3rd, really good turnout. And but we do this proclamation every year. It just kind of fell after instead of before this time. So everyone fine with that? I hope.
Yep.
Okay, let's move down to 4D. This is proclamation of Armed Forces Day. This is on the 3rd Saturday of May. Something we do every year. We've been doing it for a long time. Everyone fine with that?
Good.
Okay. Okay, move down to 4E. This is proclamation. This is for Foster Care Month, May 2022. Everyone fine with that?
Mhm.
Okay. And that's something else we've been doing for a long time, and it's just okay. Let's move down to number 5, approval of splosh capital equipment. Don't think there is any, Don, is that right?
No.
Not showing any, okay. Okay. And we don't have any, ARP expenditures either, right, to approve, right? Okay.
No, we do not.
Okay, move down to number 7. This is our, historic courthouse, restoration project. Jamie Blevins, you wanna come up and give your monthly update on kind of what's going on?
All right, so this month, sorry guys. So this month,
Turn your mic on.
we worked on a couple of things. One was trying to figure out if there's a way to value engineer the HVAC costs down. So when working with Reeves, there's a few options. I don't know that they're necessarily things we want to accept. So on the units, there's something called a hot gas bypass, right? So what that allows the unit to do is take some of the residual heat discharge, recirculate that back to create some load on the unit so you can dehumidify the space without overcooling it. So without that, the units will cycle on and off a lot, and we won't be able to control the humidity as well. Okay, so that's a big cost item. That was the one big ticket item we were able to go find. That's a $13,000 deduct if you decide not to do that. Okay, the other savings is if we reduce the efficiency of the units. Right now, they're a super efficient unit. They're a SEER 17 unit. To go down to a SEER 13, in addition to the, so if you did that and got rid of the hot gas bypass, that would be a savings of $28,000. The efficiency, that's going to marginally increase your operating cost on a monthly basis. It's not a huge building, so I don't really know. I don't have a number for you on what that cost would be. The thing that I would caution though is with that hot gas bypass, if you delete that, you're going to have a greater potential for your millwork to start moving a lot more, right? So if that's a lowly loaded building, meaning you don't have a lot of people in there, you don't have a lot of load in the building, you're not going to be able to maintain the humidity as well. So,
And if your unit's cutting on and off, your electric bill's gonna pay for a lot of
right.
that.
So, that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be cycling, every 30 minutes or anything, but it does mean that
Be more.
you're going to lose humidity control because you don't have to run that unit as long to maintain temperature. So that's a lot of money though. So 30 grand is nothing to not consider. So I wanted to make sure you guys are aware that you had the information. You guys can make the decision on what you want to do there.
Okay, how many, are we just gonna have the one unit? Cause I know that there was like talk of,
There's multiple units. So
Okay.
this would only affect the large packaged units.
okay,
So the individual mini splits, they don't have this capability because they're
Right.
such small tonnage. So we looked at that and relocating those around, that wasn't a big enough savings to warrant even present to you, so I would not recommend.
okay. So
either
how
of
many
them.
many splits are we looking at, and
Look
what
back
kind
at
of,
The plans, there's
Okay.
4 or 5 mini splits,
Okay.
I think, but I need to confirm that.
okay,
And then the package units all sit here on this end, on the south end.
and that's the big one that's
Right.
gonna mainly do
Right.
the most work?
Correct.
Okay,
So those were the big value engineering options we've got. He did get an air distribution value engineering option for $2,500, but that changed the exhaust fans and some other things that for no more deduct than that is, I would recommend staying with what the engineer specified.
okay. And then on, I don't know, this might not be a question, but, so on the heating aspect of that, where does that fall
So this doesn't affect the heating side.
at all, taking that?
Right, so the SEER, even the SEER rating is just for cooling,
Okay,
so.
okay. And it'll be heated the same way though, right?
So
With those units?
So heating is either done with electric reheat coils or a gas system, and so these aren't like a heat pump in your house. So you'll have either reheat coils downstream or gas, and I'd have to look back at the drawings to tell you for sure what these units were.
Yeah, so the mini splits are not gonna be the heating also?
Yeah, so the mini split is like a heat pump at your house, but
Okay.
those will just serve very small areas.
Areas, right.
Yeah, so it will
Okay.
serve a bathroom or, an individual, like that serving room upstairs has one in it. So those are not designed, you're not going to get a lot of temperature swing control. So if that room gets down to 50 degrees, it's got a mini split in it. It's going to take a long time to get that room heated up to 70, right? Whereas with the package units, they have the ability to quickly heat the space up.
Right, right.
So,
And the mini splits help with dehumidification stuff
Well,
too,
so-
to a certain extent.
to a certain extent, but since they're so small, you don't get a lot of dehumidification off
Sure.
those units. So, and you don't have any reheat coil. So you're essentially, not to get too far in the weeds, but the way humidity works, so when the air comes across the cooling coil, it's essentially 100% humidity, right? It completely saturates that air. And then when it reheats back up to space temp, that's when your humidity drops. So
Right,
if you're
okay.
supplying 55-degree air off an air handler, when it gets back and mixes with that return air out of a unit, that's when your humidity drops. So you're 100% coming off your cooling coil. You pick up this warmer air, and that causes your humidity to drop and your temperature to go up. So with a mini split, you don't have that. So you're just kind of recirculating the cold air. So they're not going to do a lot for humidity.
Okay, okay.
So, how's that for boring you guys tonight? So that would be something to consider. It's not necessarily something I would recommend because that's going to, I think especially the long-term goal for that second floor is going to be more of an event space that's going to be sporadically used versus having people in it all the time. So you do run the risk with as much millwork as we're talking about putting in there of having some joints open up and that sort of thing. But it's 30 grand. So
It's about 17% of the cost on that.
yeah. And that's staying with Train. So we did get some other vendors to look at it, but I would recommend sticking with the Train products. So
The other issue, if we do is to go take the 17% reduction, then we could run into the possibility of having to add back a dehumidifier.
right. So yes.
And then you
could-
said it was going from a 16 SEER to a 13 SEER?
17 to a 13.
17, so I don't.
So it's a pretty big drop in efficiency, but a 13 SEER is kind of a typical SEER rating for a residential unit. I mean, it's not junk by any means. It's still a good unit. So,
Right.
and that's why I'm presenting to you guys. That's your call to make because it's a lot of money, but you do lose some control.
Could it affect mold?
No,
Or the possibility of
I don't
mold?
think you've got any concern there with these units. They're going to run enough to keep that under control. And that's more of an air circulation thing. So when we commission the units and you get trained on them, we'll talk about, making sure you keep the fans operational and that sort of thing so that you're moving that air. That's a bigger control for mold and mildew than temperature. So.
Okay.
All right, so the other thing is we went through the single source process for the elevator shaft. Turns out it's not enough money to have to put it out as a single source. So we would just need approval for $3,000 to get that shaft inspected from you guys to do that and kind of get that one put to bed. That's the only money asked this month.
Yeah.
And then you guys just decide on that value engineering and let me know.
Is that a local inspection? You out of
No,
Chattanooga?
so we have to, we'll be doing the inspection, but we have to get Blue Moose up here to operate the elevator for us to get on top. So that's what the money's for.
So you'll take, okay. You'll
Yeah.
take care of that. Okay.
Yep,
All right.
all right.
Any questions?
We need to go ahead and make that recommendation tonight, or?
Well, we can't vote on it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a work session. So it's $3,000. We don't
I
have to.
mean, about the air conditioning.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. If you got any questions, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right. Move down to number 8. Alex, come back up and kind of refresh us on what took place there at our public hearing.
My name's Alex Smith with Northwest Georgia Regional Commission, and I appreciate the commissioners allowing me to speak on behalf of the commission in regards to the comprehensive planning process. In 2017, a joint comprehensive plan was created, a 10-year plan, as required by Georgia law. The Georgia Planning Act of 1989 stated for governments to be considered qualified local governments that a comprehensive plan has to be completed with a 5-year update. So we've been in the process of updating the 10-year plan, the 2017 plan, with a 5-year update to go through 2022, or 2027, excuse me. And this is to maintain your qualified local government status, making you eligible for certain finances through the state. So where we are now is a draft has been created. It's still in the process of being cleaned up right now, but the information is complete. We'll make it available on our website, and as I believe y'all will too. But I wanted to point out a few things. First of all, just the amount of participation that we've had from both the steering committee, which is a committee made up of locals and also local governments officials that has kind of directed us in this process. And also just kind of recognize the public as a whole. We created a public survey to be taken, and we're at 1,200 individuals who responded for a county of, what are we, 1,600?
16,000.
16,000, excuse me. So when you consider that, the amount of participation from the public is really appreciative, because it will go in a comprehensive plan. It'll help inform what's important to the local government or the local citizens. So that's taken into consideration. So just want to say thank you for everybody that participated, particularly the school system. They made a push. That was very helpful. The Alliance of Dade's been there, Dade County Government, City of Trenton, the IDA. They've all helped in the process. So just, highly appreciative of those efforts. So where we are now is we've had a second public hearing. We've closed out the public portion of the plan. And now the Northwest Georgia Regional Commission will do a review of by ourselves. And then we'll also send it off to Georgia Department of Community Affairs, who will have to approve the plan for them to do their review. We'll receive comments back from them, as well as any comments that, local government, commissioners have, or City of Trenton may wish to provide. And we'll take that into consideration. And then the next step will be the approval of the plan itself. We'll vote in adoption, or Dade County will vote on adoption in Trenton. And after that point, we will be good for another 5 years. But, just once again, just the opportunities are, to provide financial assistance, being a qualified local government status, whatever grants and loans may come available. And once again, just to say thank you to the commissioners, the steering committee, and for the public involvement. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, all your help. And
What is it you have on the back table for?
So they're no longer there. I had some copies of the comprehensive plan. I will make some available, I'll make a digital version that can be printed. It'll be on our website. But we had we had the draft comprehensive plan on the back. We also had the public survey results.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Yeah, looks like there's only one of those available, but,
They're online.
oh,
Everything you sent is online.
okay. So, all this information's online. The public survey has been made available on Dade County website. And so it's there for any individual to see the survey results. So like I said, it's been an outstanding turnout, so impressive.
Did Dade County still do better than Walker County?
You know,
I know you don't like to brag, but we do.
well, you know, it's, you know, there's no one government better than the other. We're just here to serve, and we're happy with everybody. So,
That's
like I said,
a
it's,
politician now.
it's just, like I said, it's a great opportunity, just being part of Northwest Georgia Regional Commission, serve all the 15 counties, so I appreciate it, so.
All right, thank you, Alex, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Move down to number 9. This is the ordinance. This is our last reading, right, Robin? This is the final. The ordinance number 05-05-22 pertaining to the Second Amendment ordinance prohibiting use of county resources to enforce gun restrictions or gun accessory laws in violation of state laws. And Lamar, you want to comment on that? This is your.
No, I worked hard on it. I appreciate all the support from the board members. I was gonna read it at the main meeting, what it says, and since we're gonna put it on the consent agenda, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's on, well, actually, this is this
Yeah,
is
do
it.
put
This is
it
the
on
final reading, yeah.
But
You can do it on your report if you want to.
yeah, I'm just gonna read over a little bit of the end of it. At the end of the report, it says more what it's
That's
about.
fine. Yeah. All right. Everybody fine? Any questions? Okay. All right, let's move down to number 10. This is Resolution R-31-22. This is a sale and disposal of county capital equipment, surplus property. This is on unit number 78. It's a F-150 pickup truck. In pretty bad shape, but as we've done in the past, we've got to do this before we put them. When will it be on Gov Deals?
It's out there now.
It's already on, okay. All right. Any questions? Everybody fine with it? Okay. All right, move down to number 11. This is Resolution R-32-22. This is to authorize an intergovernmental agreement between the county and school board for the conveyance of a high school football stadium and property for the property for North Dade school property and approval of the deeds. Did you add that in there? I mean, is that something we need to change as far as instead of a quick claim deed, you're doing a?
Yes, so, I did change that from a quick claim deed to warranty deed.
To warranty deed.
It should be, I think, in the commissioner's
Okay,
materials.
all right.
It is.
Okay.
We did have a public hearing first this week, I guess, and everybody, at the high school, and it went real well. Didn't have a lot of attendance, but,
It's last.
so everybody's fine? Everyone? Okay. All right. Move over to number 12. Resolution R-33-22, approval of the sale of Back Valley property by Potts Auction Company on April the 9th, 2022. Supposed to close that tomorrow, multiple times during the day. Yeah, okay. Everybody fine with that? Okay, good.
What was the amount of that sale of that property?
What, 200 and, I don't have it in front of me.
252,000.
Something.
A little over 250, 250,000. There's about 32 acres of it. Move to number 13. It's a, proposed intergovernmental agreement for use and distribution of proceeds generated by the T-Splosh special purpose local option sales tax. And Robin, if you want to comment on that, I know you're working on it, but you need to.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, the statutes governing that has been changed in the last legislative session, and so, with the commission's permission, if we could put that off for another month, and I'll take a look at it then.
Yeah. Okay. What he's gonna do, we'll just table it. He's got, as he said. Move down to number 14. This is 2022 preliminary final legislative report. George, this is just for information, Don?
Yes.
I mean, it's on, you want to tell them how to go on the website? Is it
Yeah,
Kerry? I mean, have you got it on our website,
It's
Kerry?
on ACCG's website. It's also on our county website. It's also listed in the assembly package now for the board. So you can go in and just click on item number 14 and review that.
Okay,
It just shows a listing of all
House and Senate bills that passed the General Assembly in '22 that affect county governing bodies, local government, cities, municipalities, and local governments.
Okay, any questions? Okay. Move down to number 15. This is a resolution R-34-22. This is the adjustment of the scale house rates at transfer station for disposal of solid waste. And we were notified just a week or so ago, of course, fuel and all's went up, and our provider, our hauler, they are going up on their rates. And you want to comment on that, Don?
It's going up right at around $1.50.
Yep.
So we're, talked to Billy Massengill about that, Public Works Director, and he recommended, passing that along with, it is what it is. I mean, nobody likes to say that, but it's inflation and.
It's not really, it's our provider going up. I mean, when
Yeah, the
they go
county's
up, we have to go up. So, I mean, it's not like, but we don't, it's not a profitable place really down there. You want to comment, Ms. Bradford? You're the person that kind of in charge of our our transfer station.
Yeah, it's just that time, it hasn't been done in a while, and there's not really much we can do about it. It's just one of those things. Believe me, we tried.
And we got told about a fuel surplus charge too,
Right.
Surcharge.
surcharge. So
That's
that-
what it's deriving
The
from.
150 is gonna cover that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, y'all want to add anything? Any comments or anything? Okay.
Mr. Henniger's question is 252, 345.
252.
And that's what we received. They also had to pay a 10%
Yeah,
buyer's
that's not
fee.
counting the 277 with the fees added to the buyers.
Okay. We'll go ahead and adjourn the work session. If y'all want to take a little break, we can, or we can go right into our meeting, whatever you want to do. How you feel?
I think I'll be all right.
All right.
Need a small break for Ted.
Do I now?
We need a small break to reset.
Okay, go ahead. Well, let's take about a 5 minute and then we'll go into our regular meeting. Good.